Hello and good afternoon to all of you people. I'm really excited to be here because today I led a workshop and it was just yet another reminder to me on how important it is to educate all of you, all of us, on the multiple forms of intelligence. The reason it's so important is because through my work, I have realized that one of the roots of insecurity, one of the roots of self-doubt and question is our perception on our intelligence. And it's not your fault. It's not our fault. Society has conditioned us to believe that there's one or two forms. And those forms that are highlighted are logical and mathematical. And if you remember when you were in high school, you probably remember the SAT scores or the SAT tests, I should say. And everyone's measurement for how smart they were was around how well you did on these SAT scores. And that is what's incredible to me is this has been my story because I didn't do well on those tests. So I did develop this story about myself that I wasn't smart. I carried it with me for so many years, and it was the root of my insecurity and my self-doubt. And I came in to realize that, and I became empowered with this knowledge and information that I'm going to share with you today. But what I didn't know is that I wasn't alone, that there are so many people that feel or felt the same way I did and didn't really understand what it was until we've talked about it, until this was awoken for them. Now, the reason to understand that there are multiple forms of intelligence is not just because we want to learn about it, but it really is essential for us to align with those intelligence systems within us that resonate. And I'm going to tell you right now that there are many that will, and there are many that will empower you because there are three specifically that I focus on because they're innate. We all have them. We all have access to them. So before I get into that, I just also want to share, maybe this will help people understand, this will help you understand that we have been conditioned in life to think through this logical mathematical lens, essentially thinking our way through life, using the knowledge from the shoulders up, our head, to help us move through life, make the decisions that we need to, empower our teams the way we're told and the way we've been trained. Everything is about mindset. And there are so many incredible mindset techniques, the growth mindset, affirmations, visualizations. There's a huge list of mindset techniques. However, we have not been paying enough attention to one of the greatest assets that we could possibly rely on for guidance, and that's body set. And I raise this because the intelligence systems that I'm going to highlight today make up body set, make up that body wisdom. The body knows before the mind does. And you'll know this by really feeling into what I'm about to say, which is this. When you walk into a room, sometimes, you can feel that something's off, or you can feel that you belong. That is a gut knowing. That is a somatic response. That is somatic wisdom. It's also the same wisdom when you know when you're in the right relationship and when you're not. Your body knows. Your body knows before your mind does. And oftentimes we'll be in a relationship and it feels really good and we know it and it's in sync. Our body feels it. Our mind feels it. But then when we're off and we want to leave a relationship or have a big conversation that we need to, our body knows, but our mind tells us something different. And our mind tries to hijack us out. I'm sure these things sound familiar. If you are a leader in a corporation and you are hiring people and you go through a lot of interviewing, you know when it's the right fit and when it's not. You know that this person feels aligned and resonates and will be successful for your team or for your company. It's that gut knowing. It's that ancient wisdom. It's that wisdom that our ancestors relied on to thrive and survive. We just haven't been taught how to listen. We have been taught through this logical, mathematical, linear lens that has really impacted all of us. Can you imagine growing up? And if you're someone that's struggling in school, the teacher embraces and says, hey, this is one way to learn. We can learn kinesthetically. We can learn somatically. And then I'm going to lay out some of these other forms as well in just a minute. So again, this is to empower you to restore if you are feeling less than or unworthy in any kind of way in your leadership at home with your children or in the office with your teams. This could be the root. So it was my root. And so that's why I'm passionate about this particular lens. But there are so many benefits to understanding this work. So bear with me and stay with me because it's very layered and it's very important. This, what I'm about to share with you, impacts your health. It impacts the longevity of your health. It impacts the decisions that you make. It will empower you to make the right decisions for your life. It will restore your confidence so you can make decisions and detours in your life with confidence. It will help you start the business that you've been wanting to. It will help you lean into any and all things that you may have been afraid of. It will help you understand your past and understand your present and empower you and help you get excited about your future. This work will help you understand people better. It will help you deepen your relationships at work and at home. So this body of work is meant to unlock so much. And so I hope you will stay with me because it will really impact your life. Now, I'm not only going to teach you a little bit. Today is just a little bit. It's like a glimpse of the multiple forms of intelligence. The second part is I'm going to teach you a practice that helps you listen to the intelligence from within. It will help you awaken it and restore it, learn how to listen to it, trust it, and be led by it. So there's two parts here, a little bit of research about the intelligence and my practice. So I'm going to summarize both. So this is not going to be too long, but the videos to come are going to go into it more extensively. This is to give you a taste. And if you're interested in this work in a deeper way, reach out to me. I have so many resources and I do so much. I speak, I do workshops, I work one-on-one. This is what I am here to do, to serve you, to help you regain that confidence and that authority in your life. So, the multiple forms of intelligence. Okay, so I was introduced to this work when I was 29 years old at my rock bottom moment, which I don't need to go into at this moment, but basically I had just had enough. I was like, I am done doubting myself. I am done feeling this way. I had been carrying this story based on a score for almost 20 years and I had enough. So I found this work of Howard Gardner, who was a Harvard professor and psychologist. And he has studied and written so many books and has lectured around the world about the multiple forms of intelligence. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you the list of some of them so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. I'm a visual learner, so I need to see things, and hopefully this will help you as well. So here we are with these intelligence systems. So if you look over here, there's a list here: interpersonal, intrapersonal, musical, logical, mathematical, existential, linguistic, spatial, naturalistic, kinesthetic, emotional, and somatic. Okay. So in my work, I focus on three forms: somatic, kinesthetic, and emotional. Why? Because they are innate. We all have them. Kinesthetic intelligence is our physical body's ability to use our body to navigate life, to help us understand, to process, to heal, to learn through movement. So, a lot of people that have high kinesthetic intelligence are athletes, dancers, musicians, artists, writers, speakers, people, surgeons, people using their hands to further their success. Somatic intelligence is our innate wisdom, that gut knowing that I talked about, that ancient wisdom. I think I mentioned that Antonio Damasio, who's a neuroscientist, says that your gut feelings are not misinformation, it's data. It's not just a feeling to push away, it's actually data. Data that we need to listen to, data that we need to know in order to understand who we are, what it is we want, and where we're going. And then there's emotional intelligence, which is very layered. There's emotional intelligence has 5 different components that I'm going to go into at another time. But emotional intelligence at the essence is about our ability to understand our emotions, learn how to navigate them, process them, move through them, gain presence in our body, and have the ability to hold space for others. So leaders, this is for you. Leaders at home, leaders at work. The more we understand emotional intelligence, the better parents we're going to be, the better CEOs we're going to be, and managers. We need to understand how we feel and how other people feel. We need to understand how to ask questions and be empathetic and compassionate. Now, that might seem obvious, but again, there are 5 pillars to emotional intelligence that I'm going to go into in another video. So the power of gesture is my practice that helps us, using the hands, awaken these intelligence systems to learn how to listen to them, trust them, and be led by them. Okay, so that is the first part of what I wanted to share with you today. The second part is the power of gesture. The power of gesture is my body set practice. I mentioned before there's mindset and then there's body set. And these 3 forms of intelligence that I just mentioned make up body set, make up that wisdom from within. So how do we listen to it? And how do we listen to it safely, where we feel comfortable? How do we understand it, unpack it, and then use it as assets to be better leaders in this world? Well, my practice is called the power of gesture. So I've said that. Using the hands. Here is what I want to explain to you. This is very important. So pay attention. There is this, I'm going to share my screen again because this is just going to be so much easier for you to see a visual. It's basically a visual of the brain, but in a really interesting way. Okay. You may have seen this image when you were in high school or when you were in middle school, but basically this is called the cortical homunculus. And the cortical homunculus is the map of the brain. When you look outside of this brain map, you see cortical, this gray area, this brownish. This is called cortical tissue. And it shows you how much tissue is designated to different body parts. Well, when you get to the hands, you can see that there's more cortical tissue designated to the hands than any other body part. So what does that mean? Cortical tissue is how we process logic, how we break down analytics. It is our logical mind. So cortical tissue helps us break down logic. So our hands are meant to help us understand analytics, help us make the right decisions for our life. It helps us break down the logic in a way that helps us process and get clear on what it is we need to do and say in this world. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The hands also have thousands and thousands of nerve endings that collect data all day long from our emotions, our sensations, and our environment. So what does this mean? This means that our hands, I'm going to go back here for a second. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. Okay. Our hands, they help us break down the logical mind. They help us understand the emotional body. They are the bridge between the logical mind and the emotional body. Okay. So when we feel something like self-doubt right before a presentation, when we feel something like overwhelm because we have to have a really uncomfortable conversation, the hands catch that emotion. And what do we do with it? So we use the power of gesture to hold it, not to throw it away, to use it, to feel it, to allow it to be real. We create a gesture around that, and then we transform that energy and then send that data to the brain. Because the hands that collect the data send that information to the brain all day long. So if we can catch it and shift it and transform it and then send that to the brain, well, our entire life changes. So I hope you're feeling the power of this work, the power of gesture. It bridges mindset and body set so that we can make decisions and lead from a holistic place. So now how does this work? I'm going to say this briefly here, but I'm going to share another video where I take you through the power of gesture. And in the meantime, if you're finding this to be super helpful and you want to go deeper, send me an email, send me a DM. I want to talk to you because this is the mission, to awaken this for you, for everyone that you know, to know that your hands are an asset. Your hands are one of the greatest assets that you have in life to heal, to live longer, to lead better, to make great decisions, to stand in your confidence. Believe it or not, our hands are a tool for all of that. So this is a movement, and I invite you with me to spread this information as best as you possibly can. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. How the power of gesture works is this, simply stated. I have a body set to reset practice. So if you're interested in that, DM me, email me. I want to know. I will send it to you. Here's how it works. RESET. It's an acronym for how we can take control of our life. It is an acronym and it's a journey that helps us awaken these intelligences within us and learn how to hear that wisdom from within and then use it to empower our life. Okay, so if you are feeling some kind of way about a moment, you're feeling doubtful, you're feeling nervous, you're about to give a presentation, or you got to fire somebody at work, or who knows what. I mean, there's a breadth of situations that can be slightly overwhelming and anxiety provoking. So if you're feeling that, you want to body set. That's the very first thing. Hands go on your body and you body set. R is recognize. You recognize what you're feeling. E is embody. You embody the feeling that you're having. So you embody the angst, you embody the worry, you embody the self-doubt, whatever it is. The second E is embody how you want to feel. And T is transform. I'm going to take you through how to do all of that in my next video, but I wanted to just lay that out here. And if you want to really see it in action, just email me and I'll send you body set to reset using the power of gesture, and you can do it on your own. And then tell me how it was, and we can get on a call and we can, shift and add and enhance your life with this practice and with this knowledge. But I wanted to keep this tight here today so you understand that there is a breadth of work out there that will empower your life, the intelligence systems, and then an asset, the power of gesture, a practice that will truly enhance your life, because it will connect you to your power and restore your confidence and give you the clarity that you need to have in order to lead your life effectively. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm so glad that I came here today. Please ask any questions. I'm an open book, and I really look forward to hearing from you, answering your questions, empowering your life, and helping you serve yourself first, then your families, then your teams, and your communities, in no particular order, but all of them. You first, though, no matter what. You first. So thanks for being here, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.